So while I've been trying to look for more things to do with this channel, I thought I'd use this as an opportunity to show off this, which I recently bought. So I'm trying to do more stuff RC related with my personal channel, because I do a lot of robot combat stuff on the Team Panoramic YouTube channel, and I did say over there that I was going to look at doing more RC stuff and anything in between, and whatever I get up to. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to show off this, which I recently bought. Now this is the UDIPower UD1603, and I actually knew nothing about this until I visited a model shop in Glastonbury called Jadlam, which is quite a big model shop. So if you are down in the Glastonbury area, or if you live close by the area, I cannot recommend checking them out enough, because just to go over there, because it was about a 40-minute drive for me and my dad, because we went there, and just for that alone it was definitely worth the journey. And I ended up buying this along with the Tamiya Rising Fighter, which I will be making a video about in the future, but I'm unable to do that at the moment because of this, which is basically, it was basically what happened after I injured myself because of a window at work. It's quite a story. Yeah, so this basically happened because of an incident involving me and a window at a office that I shut up because I'm a security receptionist there. But yeah, until this gets better, I'm not going to be able to do a video of the Rising Fighter until then, because building with this, it's going to be quite a long journey, I think. But until then, I thought I'd take a look at this. So the one I actually got it comes in different variations, the UD1603, and I've got the one at the front because of all the ones that were on display at Jadlam. This was the one that really caught my eye, so I got this for £69.99, nice, and I'm gonna take a look at it, and don't really know what to say at this point. I'm a little bit rusty because I'm not used to doing these kinds of videos, and yeah, so let's just get straight into the unboxing and see what we've got. Okay, now to jump straight into this, and now to see if I can peel these tabs up without having the need for scissors. Should be able to, looking good so far. And yep, there we go. So got the box open, and let's see what we've got. Ooh. And there we have it. So the instruction manual in the box, I'll give that a read later. So here we have the car itself, and underneath, oh, okay, so we have our 2-channel, I think it's a 2-channel, oh no, it's a 3-channel, our 3-channel transmitter here, and in this box we have I'll point the camera up a little bit so you can see a bit better. So let's just see if I can get this box open. So in here we have, okay, so we have a screwdriver, wrench, Allen key, some spare clips. We have our battery charger in there, which looks to be USB powered, and we have some drifting tyres, because the ones on here are regular rubber tyres, of course. I'll probably give them a try in the future. But there we have it. Oh, so the transmitter came out very easily. So push that aside, and the car is held on with some cable ties at the bottom. Normally I would get a screwdriver and stick it into the cable ties to try and pull it off, but I'm just going to have to use scissors in this case and see if I can chop off number 1. Actually, I think I'm going to be here for a while, so I'll stop recording for now. Okay, well that didn't actually take as long as anticipated, so the car should be a doddle to get out, and it is. And so there we have, point the camera down a little bit. So here we have the car itself and our 2.4 gigahertz radio gear. May as well, while I'm at it, just take the bag out and see some of the extras we've got. So we have our battery charger, which connects by USB, which is handy to have. A little bag of tools and spare clips, and our drifting tyres. And I'll have to pan the camera down a little bit because you can't really see the tyres very well, and they've just been rolling off. And yeah, so that's all the contents of the box. I'm going to deal with all the packaging at the moment, and then I'll take a close look at the car itself and get some batteries in the transmitter. Okay, now first off, I'm going to be taking a look at the car itself. I've already taken the clips off prior to filming this segment, but just before I do take the body shell off, there's a bit of protective film on it that I do want to take off, and it will be, let's see if the microphone will pick this up. We'll get a bit of ASMR going on here. So, I'm not making this as satisfying as I probably could do because of, you know, the injury. But I've already made a mess of it. If it tears once more, I'm going to have to stop recording because it's going to be a bit of a chore to watch otherwise. There, and you know what, I am going to stop recording because this is definitely going to take a while. Okay, so one thing I've realised while doing this, the plastic bits here on the back and here on the sides, what they've clearly done is put the shrink wrap, the protective film over it, and then screwed these plastic bits on. So yeah, I'm going to have to try and find out where the screwdriver is and just get the hell on with this. Okay, so just as I thought I was done taking the film off, I realise now I've screwed off the spoiler and I've screwed the mirrors off, but now I've got to screw off the lights on the front. This is ridiculous. Okay, so after all of that malarkey, we finally got the film off of the body shell. Now to take the shell off and see what we have inside. So as you can already see, we've got the headlights connected to the system here, which I'll explain more about in a little bit. So I'll just take that off and push it off the side. So in terms of the overall chassis itself, really, really nice feel to it. We've got a brushed motor here, nice. Steering servo, nice. We have our ESC power supply to the headlights and also the receiver built into one system, which I do really, really like. We have our power switch on the side here, which I take it that you have to hold it down to turn the car on and off. And I do like how conveniently placed it's here, because if I just pop the shell back on, because with a lot of RC cars I do own, typically I have to stick my finger in between the body shell and the chassis to try and reach in the switch, but thankfully with this one that's not the case, as we have our power switch, which is easily, conveniently and very easy to access. So I'm just going to take that back off. So we have here our 7.4 volts 1200 milliamp hour lithium ion battery. So I'm just going to take that out so we can get a closer look at it. Now, one of the things that I do really like about this car is that you've got JSTs, which are really good connectors, and I do use them a lot, and I much prefer them rather than the Tamiyas or the Deans, because typically I like to use XT60s like this one here, although I'm surprised that they have included JSTs on a pack like this at this size, because I would expect something bigger. So maybe on the safe side I might upgrade that to the XT30, which is the smaller version of the XT60, but we do have our balance charging lead here on the pack as well, and it's made up of two, they do look bigger than AA's cells, so we've got two lithium-ion cells make up this pack. And what I'm going to do now is charge this off camera, but just before I do show that, I'm going to take a look at the transmitter for the car. Okay, so next up onto the transmitter, which turns out is a 4-channel and not a 3-channel like I said earlier. We do have the UDIRC logo on the top there, but it doesn't seem to have a brand or product name, so it's just a UDIRC 4-channel transmitter with no product name. For example, like Spectrum has the DX6i or FlySky has the FSI6, and many brands to name, but this doesn't seem to have one. And also I have put some I'll see if I can open this. I've been struggling to do the most basic of tasks with my injury lately, so there we go. So the transmitter takes 4 AA batteries, and even with the batteries in, the transmitter is surprisingly lighter than I thought it would be. It doesn't actually feel cheap as well. It has got a very nice feel to it. It's very nice to hold, and yeah, I'm very, very happy with that. I'm guessing, so we have obviously got trying to work out if they're marked anywhere, but obviously we know how pistol grip transmitters work. On the top here we've got our servo reversing and our trims here, and also our indicators, for example, so we can see the TX light flashing, so that obviously means that the car is not powered on. And actually thinking about it, I don't think it has binding, this transmitter. Maybe they've already got that sorted at the manufacturing facility, because we don't, yeah, there isn't, there's no bind button on that. I might have to read the instructions just to be sure, but I've kind of dumbed myself down a little bit, so I'm going to stop talking about the transmitter and move on to the battery charger. Okay, so for the battery charger, what I've decided to do is hook it up to my power bank to show the thing that I really like about what modern RC cars are including with these USB charging packs. I mean, I get that some of them, for example, like Maverick, have a ridiculously slow charging time, sorry. So that's the reason why I prefer to use my CS240 Duo, which is off camera. But in the meantime, we've still got this. Now, battery itself, instead of charging on the JSTs, it charges off the balance lead, as LiPos also tend to do, but thankfully this is lithium ion, and thankfully not a LiPo, because I do use LiPos for combat robots, and I have to be very cautious in that area. So with my RC cars, I tend to prefer to use either nickel metal hydrides or lithium ion. So yeah, so what we've got for the power, we can see we've got our power indicator here, and we have our charging indicator here. So flashing means that the battery is charging, and I haven't actually seen it, but this will either go out completely or remain on still when the battery has finished charging. So I will leave this where it is for now, and we'll come back to it when it has finished charging. Okay, so I now come back to a fully charged battery, and with my injury all dressed up anyway. So we have a static green light which indicates that the battery has finished charging. So now with this pack charged, I'm going to get it placed back into the car and do a few tests. Okay, so I've now popped the body shell back on so that I can just do a few little tests. I did do a little drive around of it earlier, but I'm just going to quickly show, before I test it outside, just go over the controls and the functions, also basic stuff. For example, our power switch is located under there. Pointed that out earlier, how conveniently placed it is and how easy it is to turn on. Basically, hold it down until the lights come out. So you'll notice that the lights at the front and the tail light at the back are flashing. Now that means that the car is turned on, but not connected to the transmitter. So obviously what we want to do in this case is turn our transmitter on. And there we have it. So basic stuff first. So channel 1, forwards, backwards, and the brake as well, of course. Then obviously left, right, obviously. Now channel 3, I didn't really think that would do anything at first, but what channel 3 allows us to do is have different variations of how we have the lights turned on. So at the moment they're completely off. We've just got the headlights on, but not the red border that was around earlier. Now what it will also do, as long as the headlights are on, so will also be the tail lights at the back. So press it again, and we have our red border right there. Lights off, and then we have the red lights in the headlights on alone. And then we have variant back to how it was. So that's channel 3. Now channel 4, what this basically allows us to do is have different speed variations, which is also really good to have if you want kids to have a go at this, or if you're buying this for kids who aren't quite used to fast cars. So channel 4 is right there. So this at the moment is the lower speed setting, and if we put it to the middle, that's the mid speed setting, and finally flick it once more. And then we have the high speed setting. Now, while I'm driving this outside, I will be testing this, of course. I'll be testing the different speed variations as well, and seeing how it drives in those speed variations. We got our servo reversing here, our steering trims here in the middle, ESP there, and also this one on the right. Did that do it? I don't. Try turning the ESP up a bit more. Hang on a minute. Jump cut. Sorry about that, I just had to double check something there. So this control right here on the transmitter, basically what that does is it kind of reduces and increases the width of the way the car turns. For example, if you have it on this setting, the turning circle is going to be quite minimal, and if I turned it all the way down, and we've got nothing at all, let's put it midway. But if I just want to turn it all the way up, because... So yeah, that control allows us to have various turning circles and various limits to how the car turns as well. I might want to turn that down a little bit because that's a bit too... Yeah, that's good. So, gone over all the controls, and when it clears up and when it's right, going to take this outside for a little test drive to see what the thing is like to drive. Right, so I don't exactly know how this video is going to play out because I'm using my GoPro on a chesty mount. I did want to use a head mount originally, but I don't have one lying around, and I do need to get one as soon as I can. Because I don't, so hopefully I get some decent footage from using this filming method, but I'm taking this outside in my local neighbourhood, so just going to give a little view so you can just see how the tyres look before I take this out for a first spin. So hold the button at the side to turn the car on, to place the car down, to turn the transmitter on. So what I'm actually going to do to start off this video, or this segment of the video, okay, so we have source. So I'm going to switch it to low power mode so you can just see the differences between the speed settings on this. So starting off with power mode number 1. So I don't exactly have the most stable ground in the world. Let's probably see if I can get it on that drive so that... Is it going to go up there? Yeah, that's not going to happen. Hang on a minute. Okay, let's... Okay, so the ground is... Oh, that's the... Okay, let's see how it plays out here. Okay, well that's better. Not as good as... Right, so that was speed setting number 1. Let's take it up to speed number 2. I'm going to drive it on the road just for a little bit, actually. Oh. Self-right. It does jiggle about a little bit because of how uneven the ground is, but on a much flatter surface, I'd imagine it handles a lot better. But the handling, actually, to be fair, is really good. I'm really proud of it. Right, so that was speed setting number 2. Let's take it up to the highest at number 3. That can't be it. I think the battery might be already dying. Right, so I'll stop that film for a bit. I'll take it back inside, give it another charge, and see where it goes from there. Alright, so I'm back outside after giving the car a charge. Quite really needed it by how long it took the battery to charge. It's getting a little bit darker outside, so gonna put this back at full speed. Whoa, okay, that was a lot. Just want to put it on lower speed setting quickly. So That's that slower speed. Point the camera up just a little bit. That's mid speed. And now for higher speed. Barrel roll. Yeah, you can see how much it jiggles about because of how uneven the road is. But it still drives pretty nicely. Actually, what I'm going to do, because of how much it's jiggling about on here, I'm going to see if there is a flatter surface nearby and drive it around on it from there. Okay, so we have a more even surface right here, so I'm going to drive it around this bit and just see how it goes. So, it's still jiggling about a little bit, but I might have to see if there's a way of sorting that out. Actually, I think... waiting for that car to go past. Let's just try it on here just again, because I think it might... Oh, okay, so now it drives a lot better. Because I think what it was the ESP. I had that turned all the way up, and that turning it all the way down has actually made quite a big difference. It's driving a lot better now. Oh, yeah, this isn't really going down well. So if I just basically turn the ESC all the way up, yeah, you can see how much it is starting to jiggle about, or I'll bring it a bit closer, you can see, yeah, there it is. So if I just turn that all the way down and start again. Ah, yeah, that's definitely a lot better, and really good. There's a car coming down, I might want to just stop it for just a little bit, or might just leave that. Right, so on that note, I think I'm going to call that it. Just before I do wrap up this part of the video, I did have somebody mention about how quickly worn down the tyres do get, but I have been running it down for a couple of minutes, and yeah, the tyres have actually held up pretty well considering how rough the ground is, and there is a little bit of a stone inside of it. So I know that some of you were also expecting to see it with the drift tyres on, but I've decided not to do that, and I'm going to wait until I can find a much wider open space to do it. Otherwise it won't make so much of a good video. I'll probably end up crashing into the curb quite a lot, but I will probably do that in a later video. But let's just go to the wrap up. Actually, just before I do wrap that up, I just want to show a quick example just down this long bit of road here, because kind of just to show how fast the car actually goes. Trying to make sure I get this in shot and driving it at the same time. I really need a headrail whenever I can get one. Bloody potholes. So I think on that note, time to go to the summary. Now before I wrap this video up, I just wanted to give a little quick overview of the car after driving it around for quite a while. After I stopped recording then, I decided to run it around for a bit and let the battery drain out, because obviously with it being lithium, and I just wanted to get it below a certain percentage before storing it. But considering the fact that I crashed into the curb a few times, I managed to get it to roll over. It's actually held up pretty well, and I cannot see a single scratch on it anywhere. Now on the front bumper area there, we'll have to focus into the camera a lot better. There we go. I did manage to get a few cracks. There's a crack there, there's a crack there. There is a little bit of a chip there as well. But that was on my part as well. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. So time to the overall thought. So that was the UDIPower UDI1603. Now, when I went to Jadlam in Glastonbury, I originally went to buy a Rising Fighter Tamiya, which I will be making a video about in the future. But I saw this, liked the look of it, and bought it on a complete and utter whim. And I'm so happy that I actually bought this in the end, because it is a really fun little car to drive. Quite fast as well, considering it's a brushed, not brushless. Drives around quite nicely. I did make a bit of a cock up there with the ESP, having that turned all the way up, which explained why it jiggled about so a lot. But when I turned it down and played around with it, I managed to get a lot better control out of it. Now going back to the drift wheels, I will be, like I said earlier, I will be making another video about this in the future. But I might have a go at experimenting, like maybe put 2 on the fronts and keep the regular tyres on, then do different configurations like 2 on the front, 2 on the back, and all drift tyres all over. So is this a recommended buy? Yes, definitely. If you are looking at getting started into RC cars, or if you've had no experience, or if you've got kids who really want to get into this grade of RC, it is a really, really good starter. The speed settings as well for the kids is a really good feature. And yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. So cannot recommend this enough. And that's just about all I have to say for this video. So now that my hand is starting to heal up, because I have been filming this across a couple of weeks with the injury that I recently sustained on my hand, but it's starting to get better now. So hopefully I'll be able to do more RC stuff in the future, because I have got a video about the Tamiya Rising Fighter. Probably going to do a build-up time-lapse of that, and just do some general RC shenanigans. And I'm going to see what else I can do in terms of content for this channel, because I do kind of want to do more with it, because it's a personal channel of mine. I haven't really done anything with it, and I'm taking on new ventures and seeing where things go from there. But on top of all that, thank you so much for watching, and until whatever I get up to next, catch you later.